Welcome my friends, 7 Gray here. This video is part 2 of a series about backup cameras. Today I want to talk about comparing two systems. About 10 months ago or so I bought an Esky or Esky, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, I'm guessing Esky, I'm going to go with that. From Amazon. I bought 4 cameras and I bought a small monitor system, and it took me months before I got it installed. Just barely got it up and running, and then Haloview, the second company, sent me an offer of a free camera to check out and review for you as subscribers and for me to see if it works in my system. So today I want to compare the two systems, the wireless Haloview with the wired version, which is the Esky system. Now, it's probably not totally a fair comparison because the Haloview camera system is a $200 system ballpark, and I'm going to be putting links to both systems below, the Esky and the Haloview. And the Esky system, total package for 1 camera and 1 monitor. The camera itself is 20 bucks, the monitor is $10, so $30 out the door to get you going, versus the Haloview, which is about $200. So not really on the same page price-wise, but those are the two systems I have, and I thought it would be interesting to compare the two and see what you get for $200 in the wireless system and all the features it has versus what the Esky system has to offer. The system has 2 parts. It has the camera and the monitors. Let's start with the monitors. Here are the 2 monitors. This is the Haloview, the larger monitor on the right hand side, and the small Esky system. So this is a $10 monitor. I'm not sure separately how much this is, probably 100 bucks, something like that. But you can see this monitor is quite a bit larger, and there are controls here. The Esky system actually will collapse, so you can bring it down like this and then push a button and it will pop up. But it was sort of difficult to mount this. I have some brackets here because it's meant to mount on a flat surface, versus the Haloview that has an adjustable bracket on the side here with adjustment knobs, and it also comes with a ball system here, so you can mount this with adhesive on the back and put it on any surface you want and be able to adjust that monitor to whatever angle you want using this ball system. So this is quite a bit more advanced, and it is wireless. So the Haloview, you can see this big antenna here that goes on it, and then there's an antenna on the camera in the back, versus having to run a wire from the back of this all the way to the back of the vehicle. Up here above you can see the 2 camera systems. On the left is the small Esky system, and then the Haloview is mounted up there above. In the instructions it says not to mount it this way, so eventually I'll probably have to change that for mounting because it's slightly blocked because of the way it's set up there. Anyway, so I need to do some adjustments on that. The power source for the cameras is a common power source, so I have both plugged into the same power and both plugged into the same ground. And interestingly enough, it seems like there's some interference from the Haloview. So if you turn on both monitors at the same time in the front cab area, the Esky monitor actually has interference lines running through it. It's a little bit wacky. But if I go back and turn off the camera in the back, then everything looks fine up front. Here's the power that I ended up running up for the new Haloview camera, and it has this connector here which I can disconnect if I want to cut power to the camera. Over here is the Esky system, and the red is the power source, which has both the positive and negative on it, and then the yellow cable here is the video cable. And I ran this video cable from the back to the front along the top roof line of the step van. So this is the video cable coming down here that goes all the way down to the Esky monitor, and then of course the Haloview is wireless with the antenna here. I set up the Esky system with its own toggle switch to turn it on and off, which is down here. So I just basically flip this switch up and you'll see that it comes on over here. Esky has the little lines on it that show you the parking lines, and it shows the edge of the black bumper down there on the step van, and this is a 170-degree wide angle view. The Esky system is much lower resolution for the camera and the monitor of the Haloview. So Esky comes in at 510 pixels by 496. So that's the resolution of the Esky. Haloview is 1024 by 600. Now that sounds, when you're looking at the math, like double, like 510 to 1024. But it's not. It's actually 4 times the resolution, and that is because if you double the 510 to 1024, you're not only doubling it across, but you're doubling it down. So 2 by 2 is 4 times. So it's actually 4 times the amount of pixels. And so that's much, much higher resolution. And with the large monitor, it's crystal clear. I don't know that that makes all that much difference in backing because the detail is fine. Should also point out that the Esky systems, the monitor refresh rate is very, very high. I don't know what it is. It's got to be at least 30 frames per second, must be higher than that. Whereas the Haloview tends to be glitchy. As you're backing up, you'll see the image looks like it's jerking. So I'm guessing the refresh rate on that must be 10 or 15 frames per second. I couldn't find any documentation to indicate how fast that is. It's noticeable with the Haloview as you're backing. You can see the glitching stepping of it, but it doesn't really decrease the value of it backing. It's just sort of annoying to see it as it actually glitches as it's stepping. Anyway, I won't be able to really show you how that works because I don't think I can capture it with this camera here for this video, but it is something to be aware of. I don't think it's a problem with buying the system, and perhaps all of the little positives that the Haloview has over the Esky make it worth the setup. So the question is, what does Haloview offer for the amount of money that you're paying that you're not getting with the Esky? So let me run through the list here. The Haloview has quite a few features that the Esky doesn't have. I actually made a list. First, it's wireless. That's the first thing versus the Esky, where you've got to run the wires back there. So the installation is super, super simple. It's not too bad with the Esky. You've just got to be able to connect power sources to both the camera and the monitor. Then you have to run the video cable from the back all the way to the front. Anyway, so there is quite a bit difference in the camera size. Certainly you could buy a larger monitor for the Esky. They actually have 2 models, so they have one about the same size, and it's only like $30. So for $20 more you can get a monitor about the same size. Resolution is 1/4 the amount for the Esky, so you get about 4 times the resolution in the Haloview. The setup, you have fairly simple for Esky. And the Haloview, there's almost no setup. It's super, super easy because it's a wireless system, which is super, super nice. I'm going to have to shoot this really fast because I'm taking up part of the parking lot with my cones. What I've done is set up parking cones for the corners of the Haloview camera. Let me show you. Over here's the step van. You can see a cone here. That's the front view area that I'm displaying. And then here you can see the cones on the edges. Let me show you on the monitor what that looks like, and then on the Esky. Got to do this pretty quick. Okay, here you can see the cones on the corners of the thing, so it gives you an idea how much area you can see. Now you can see over here on the small Esky camera, the cones are still visible here in the corners, but there's actually a little bit larger area that's being displayed. So this is slightly wider angle. I'm not sure what the other one is, but I'm guessing maybe 10 or 20 degrees less on the Haloview. There's 2 or 3 areas that I think the Haloview shines over the Esky, and one of those is the Haloview is wireless. Another is that it has night vision. And the third, I would say, is that you have a lot of custom settings that you can use with the Haloview, which really is probably what you're paying for. The first is that you can add a memory card to the back of it, a small SIM card like you put into a camera or you put into a phone, something like that. And you can put that in there and you can actually hit a record button and it will record the video coming off of that camera. But you can also use 4 cameras with the Haloview monitor, and it will divide those so you can see all 4 monitors in one screen or scroll through them one after another, or you can have it like a security system where it will show them for a few seconds and then go to the next view and the next view, which if you're parked and you're using it as a security system, that's pretty awesome to have built into the system, but you have to buy 3 additional cameras to do that. With the Haloview, you also have total controls over your audio and over your video controls, the brightness, the contrast, those kinds of things. I think that the video system is actually quite a bit better on its ability to determine contrast in images. With the Esky system, I've noticed backing up, if there's a tree behind me in the middle of the day, that I can't see any ground there. It's just a black pool there and you don't see any contrast. So the Esky does really well if you're in good like cloud cover or something like that without high contrast, or early morning or in the evening when you don't have high contrast. But it doesn't seem to do well if you're backing into something in deep shadows. Then you're not going to be able to see anything else. You're going to only see the parking lot around the shadows and not whatever's in the shadows. So if there's a trash can there, or there's a bicycle or a post or something like that, you're simply not going to see it with the Esky. The Haloview, I think you can see into those shadows much better. So image quality is important there, and I think that that is probably one of the bigger issues when you're talking about safety and backup that is there. You can also adjust the lines, the parking lines on the Haloview system, and put the parking lines and adjust them to wherever you want to have them displayed on the screen. With the Esky, it's simply not possible. They're built into the camera and they're there. You can't do anything about it that I'm aware of anyway. You also have an audio microphone in the Haloview, which you did not have in the Esky. For me, probably not so helpful and not such a big deal, but if you put this, say, like on a trailer, a travel trailer on the back of it, that could be extremely helpful if you have a helper behind you where you're backing up, or somebody shouts at you or something like that. You'll be able to hear it inside the cab. So I think that's about all I have for comparing the two systems. Again, probably not a solid, fair comparison. You're comparing a $200 system to a $30 system. But maybe it's helpful if you're trying to decide between wireless versus wired, and you're trying to figure out if the extra money is worth it. I think probably for safety factor, I would choose the Haloview because, well, you get all those extra options and you have a possible upgrade path of adding more cameras if you want it. Probably for me, the biggest factor is being able to see into the deep shadows with the Haloview and the night vision capability. I think those are worth the extra money there alone. I like the larger monitor size, but again, for $20 more, you can get an Esky monitor of the same size. So I would say probably I give my nod to the Haloview and say that it is probably worth the extra $170, I guess, that you would be paying to get the nicer system. That it's worth it to me for that peace of mind. However, if you don't need the night vision, you don't need that high contrast, then maybe the Esky system is there for you. I'm going to put links to all these products below so you can take a look at that. Anyway, that's all I have for this episode. Thank you for watching. Savor the moment, and see you next episode.